Turning now to the latest on the civil rape case against former President Donald Trump. As part of this case, Trump has been sued for battery and defamation, and we now know Trump will not testify in his own defense after a deadline assigned by the judge came and went, and it comes after both sides rested their cases. Writer Carroll accuses Trump of raping her in a department store in the mid-90s. The former president has continued to deny those allegations. NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos joins us now. So, Danny, good morning. The judge gave Trump's lawyers until 5 p.m. last night to let him know if Trump wanted to testify. They did not make any such filing. What do you think is the strategy behind that?
He could have given him another month, and it never would have happened. The reality is this. Is that Trump was never going to testify. It was, whether he realized it or not, it's really just a troll that would have gotten the plaintiff's attorneys to do an extra night of work prepping for a cross-examination that even they knew was not likely to come. But in reality, it might not have even been as thought out as that. It may have just been some random comments by Trump on a golf course that set everyone else spinning, including his own defense team. But I imagine his own defense team knew he was never going to show up and testify because the risk was simply too great. Far better to let them read into the evidence, the deposition transcripts. And by the way, how helpful were those for Trump? Not very much. So it gives you a good idea of how well he would have acquitted himself had he taken the stand live in real time.
Let's go ahead and show some of the taped deposition of Donald Trump that was shown to the jury.
I don't even know who the woman. Let's see. I don't know who. It's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla. Yeah, that's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that,
the person you just pointed to was Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife. And the woman on the right is your then wife.
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that?
That's Carroll.
Carroll?
All right, everybody, we're going to show the same photo that Trump was looking at. Danny, what are your thoughts on that moment?
I think, and maybe I'm overthinking this, that this is Trump's approach to a deposition. He's the I don't know nothing guy, and that's kind of a character that you'll find a lot in depositions, the person who just doesn't know anything. It's consistent with his theme of I don't know anything about this because it didn't happen. So it's his way of somewhat being unhelpful and not knowing anything and looking at a picture and saying, but I don't know, who is that? Is that Waldo? Is that the plaintiff? I have no idea who's here. I don't know nothing about anything. And I think it's a kind of a cultivated attitude in these legal cases that he thinks will help him. But what he probably didn't realize is that by doing that, he set himself up for people saying, well, if you say that person is not your type and you mistook her for your wife, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right, Danny Cevallos, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.